Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Indeed, I am back. So sorry that I am once again late, but as you guys know, there's just been a lot of craziness going on over the past couple of days. So yesterday was a big tax day, so that was one of the reasons why. This day, there were just a lot of things going on before the stream, and so Freya had literally just gotten home. I cooked dinner, ate dinner, and wanted to be able to jump on this stream. And so I am indeed now here. Hope you are all doing very, very well. Mark Oquist, yes, indeed, the Odin sleep is over. John Robertson, what's going on, dude? Mr. Peabody, what's going on, bruv? Sticky V is here as well. What's going on, Sticky V? Lily Patton, what's going on, Lily? How is it going? Aiden Vickery, Dion, hail to you, good sir. Blasted Heath, welcome, welcome, welcome. Henka, CT1996, CT, what's going on, bruv? The Price is Right review. Yo, sup, bro? Hope everything is going okay. I got Nerdrotic's back. I won't let a fellow Trekkie go down without a fight. Very good, thank you. And as you can see that in the description of this video, we are indeed supporting Nerdrotic. So for those that do not know, there was a copyright strike made against his channel for an unlisted video, apparently based off of an image that he had in that video, which is totally under protection for fair use. So somehow, some way, some third party ended up getting a copyright strike against his channel, which, because YouTube sucks and has no protections for content creators, means that his content, means that his video streaming, his live streaming, has now been disabled for 3 months, and also that video has been forced to be taken down. He's lost all revenue from it as well, too. So basically what that means is that now he is live streaming from a new channel. So Valkyrie, if you could please post the link to his new channel, go give him some love, go give him some subs. Just keep in mind, once you get to the 1,000 subs on that new channel, that doesn't mean he's automatically remonetized on that channel. He's using that channel for now to live stream until all of this stuff is cleared up. Hopefully it gets cleared up soon. But if you've been following YouTube at all, you know that YouTube will take its sweet ass time to try and help anyone out because they do not care. They do not allocate resources to helping people out. They do not want to set up a system that will help out the regular, everyday content creator because that would require too much work on their part. So they're not going to do that. So in the meantime, go support Gary. Go support Nerdrotic. He's an awesome dude, an awesome channel. I was actually on that. I was on a stream with him earlier on his new channel, trying to get more people over there. I've been tweeting about it. I've been, again, doing everything that I possibly can. So Valkyrie, please spam the chat with the link to the new Nerdrotic channel. Go subscribe over there. Give him some love. Give him some support. Leave some comments on any of the live streams that might be public now at this point, because he really needs to know that we care about his content. We want more of his content. And we also think that this entire situation is wrong and stupid. I'm going to be talking to him maybe today or a little bit tomorrow about setting up Streamlabs, because I know that Streamlabs has been an amazing thing for me, and I think that it will be a major help to him while he's kind of in this in-between process. Or if for some reason today, tomorrow, everything comes back, that's great. But if it ever happens again, which based on everything that's happened recently with other channels, seems like it's going to be a more common occurrence, especially also we have Article 13 being passed recently in the European Union as well. Things might not be getting much better for YouTubers down the line and content creators down the line either. So we are indeed going to be living in some very interesting times. So go support Gary. Go support the Nerdrotic channel. Nerdrotic.com is how you get easy access to him. You can find the links to his podcast, to his videos. Everything that you might need to contact him is there. And I'm sure Matt Valkyries are doing an amazing job dropping those links. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Alex says, so glad you're with Nerdrotic. Absolutely, man. Seriously, as I've shown you on previous streams, I listen to the guy almost daily. Whenever there's a podcast available, whenever he's made one of his live streams into a podcast, I am listening to it to and from work. It's one of my priority things. There's other podcasts that I listen to. Gary's gets priority because I think that he is just that knowledgeable on these things that I care a lot about. When it comes to Marvel Comics, having him having worked in the comics industry, selling comics, he knows what it's like. He knows what people buy. He knows when people stopped buying, and he knows the market in general. And it was been able to, by watching his videos, by watching and listening to his streams, that's how I learned a little bit more about how the MCU is very much at this point in time mirroring and mimicking what is going on in Marvel Comics. And if you don't know what's going on in Marvel Comics right now, it has gone down the dumps. Now, a lot of that has to do with the breaking point for all of that, as he's made very clear, was the SJW-isms being brought into Marvel Comics. We're starting to see something similar happen into the MCU, and that's the reason why I've said clearly before, Endgame is not just a movie, it is the end of a saga by their own volition. They've already admitted that this is the end of the Infinity Saga. The question is, what's the next saga? Who's going to lead that next saga? And is it going to be enough to be able to bring in not only new fans, but also to maintain the fans that have been around for the past 11 years? That is the number one question. I have some serious doubts if their decision is to go with Captain Marvel and many other characters who they've tried and tested in the comics several times now and have always failed. So anyway, thank you very much. So thank you guys for your support of Nerdrotic, because he is an awesome dude. Seriously, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I found out just yesterday that he was going to Star Wars Celebration. So excited to be able to finally meet him in person. Me, him, and Jeremy are going to be the Straight Edge Society up there. And it's so great because all of us come from just different backgrounds, but we all are going to be sharing that one thing in common with each other, and it's going to be awesome. So I can't wait to meet him and just to have a conversation with him in person, because he's awesome. He's sad. I mean, it's sad that that was like the first time to be on his channel was under those circumstances, but I obviously would have him on my channel anytime, and I would love to be on his channel anytime, because he seriously is awesome, and he deserves your love, your subscribe, and just your support in general. 4E67, thank you very much for the $4.20 super chat. Is that a cloverleaf I see? It looks like it. That looks awesome. Thank you very much, good sir. Soul Assassin, what is going on, Soul Assassin? As the chat has jumped on me again. It is all good. It is all good. Let's see what we got here. Sticky V, what was for dinner? Pastaroni. The dinner of champions, the dinner of the gods, as they say, pastaroni, with a couple eggs added in, and it's fantastic. Darkstar57, hail to you, good sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Scarecrow goes school. Dang right. J. Roar says, live long and prosper, Odin. To you as well, good sir. To you as well. Boom. All right, Nickel Noodles, what's going on, bruv? Good to see you in here. John Early, I had bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches for dinner. They were delicious, especially when the lettuce is just right. Oh, yes, a BLT. Classic. That is indeed a classic sandwich that you just had for dinner. Mary Vidal's Mayhem. Guys, go support Mary Vidal's Mayhem. She is an awesome, awesome YouTuber. Really great person. Says, have a great stream, man. Mary, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Mary Ashmead, what's going on? Mary says, thank you so much, Odin. Gary needs all the help he can get. Absolutely. And as he made very clear, he's not in any financial straits at this point, but it is also still taking away a major part of his channel. I mean, not only does he make videos, but he also has a live stream schedule, and having it be gone, you know, theoretically for 3 months is not a good thing. And so, therefore, I will do everything that I can to try and help him through that process, because, yes, as Yivo just said in the chat, that is completely BS. Matthew Matson says, it's Nerdrotic Live. Thanks, Odin. No problem. Again, Nerdrotic Live is the new channel. And as I said to the Valks, please go ahead and post that link to that new channel. Boom. Thank you so much for posting all those links. Go give him some love and support. He deserves it. Anthony Aguirre says, hello, Odin. Hello, Anthony. How art thou? Zach Gregg, what's going on? Zach, how's it going? Slicer Neon says, please tell the channel isn't named Nerdrotic. Sounds sketchy. No Nerdrotic there. It is simply Nerdrotic Live, because it is obviously still his same personality. It is everything else the same. It's just that he cannot stream. He is not allowed to stream on his channel with all of those subscribers, which is what really sucks, is because now there's a lot of people on his channel that don't know and can't follow it, because some people only really know and only really follow the live streams. And so basically cutting his ability to do that really does cut to the heart of him and many other YouTubers as well. People who are much more stream heavy or are very set and scheduled on their streams, like Nerdrotic, like, you know, for example, for me, if I was put in a position where my, you know, for some reason my channel was striked and I couldn't live stream, you know, obviously I have my Welcome to Asgard channel that I could go to as well, but it makes it very difficult. It really does, because, yeah, you could say, oh, I could go live stream over there, but you know that just as anyone else, if you say, hey, guys, go over to this stream, it's a lot harder to gain the traction of the people that you may have had on your own channel versus trying to get people to move over. So that's why it is very important for us to support him during this time period. Aiden Vickery says, I think he got Screenlabs set up today. So I was talking to him about Screenlabs, or rather Streamlabs. Sorry, Streamlabs is what it's called. because that's what I use, Streamlabs OBS. And I basically had I had recommended it to him, so I don't know if he's downloaded it yet. I know that he was going to the gym and that he was going to contact me because I was going to try and help him get set up with that, but he has not gotten back to me yet. He's a pretty smart guy, though, so even if I'm not directly helping him, I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly. And, of course, I am here, so Gary, if you're watching by any chance, please know that I am here to help you in whatever way I can, because it can be a little tricky. Zenwater says, what exactly is Article 13? That is a great question. One of the reasons why I have it in the title is because it passed today, but also because there's been a lot of YouTubers that have talked about it and have tried to basically describe what it is. And so, according in the most brief way possible, Article 13 refers to Article 13 of the Constitution of Singapore, which prohibits banishment and guarantees freedom of movement. Article 13 of the proposed European Union Directive on Copyright in the Digital Marketplace, which would expand legal liability for websites. All right, so let us get here. That's the one that we want. Not the one on human rights, this one right here. All right. Article 13 replaces the mere conduit exemption from copyright infringement from for-profit online content sharing service providers with a new conditional exemption to liability. These conditions are a claimed implementation of effective and proportionate measures to prevent the availability of specific unlicensed works identified by rights holders, acting expeditiously to remove them and demonstrating that best efforts have been made to prevent their future availability. The article also extends any licenses granted to content hosts to their users as long as those users are not acting on a commercial basis. The article directs member states to consider the size of the provider, the amount of content uploaded, and the effectiveness of the measures imposed. In light of technological developments, it also mandates an appeals process and requires content hosts to share information on the use of content with the content's owner, the lack of which has been point of contention in the past. Article 13's provisions target commercial web hosts which store and give the public access to a large amount of works or other subject matters uploaded by its users, which they organize and promote for for-profit purposes. The proposal makes explicit that this does not include private cloud storage services, non-profit encyclopedias like Wikipedia, nor non-profit educational scientific repositories. Article 13b requires websites which automatically reproduce or refer to a significant amount of copyright-protected visual works to conclude fair and balanced licensing agreements with any requesting right holders. Article 13 was renamed to Article 17 in the final trilogue draft issued in February 2019. To put a vote by Parliament. So basically what it does is that it affects people who create content. It creates and makes things a lot more hell for anyone that tries to do any type of copyrighted content. So think about what happened in Nerdrotic, and that the claim that was made against them, the false claim that was made against them. They've now just made it a lot easier. That's the reason why, you know, a lot of YouTubers in the UK especially have been freaking out about this, because basically it allows for more unilateral action against individuals, YouTube channels, individual sites, because of various uses of things. It kind of does away a little bit with the fair use. Again, I'm not an expert on this at all, so there might be someone who has a better explanation to this, but it just looks like it gives more power to the governing body, which is, in this case, the EU. Again, the European Union. So that is the breakdown of that. Serpterm Gaming says, I know the box office is the one thing that needed a sequel for Alita, but do you think the fans are more important to the cast and crew? Yes, absolutely. I think that for any movie franchise, fans and crew, or rather fans, are definitely more important, because they are the ones that not only see the movies in theaters, but also they're the ones that buy the merchandise and the Blu-ray sales. They make so much money in profit when you look at those sales. Definitely so. TubeTube says, Odin, what's going on, TubeTube? What's going on? Alrighty. Chat jumped on me again, but that is indeed okay. Okay. Wow, there are a lot of people in this chat leaving so many comments. Anyway, Pete972 says, hi, Odin Jeremy said that Article 13 is getting passed. Yes, apparently it has already been passed. Scarecrow says, you need a really cool Viking helmet to wear for your vids. I don't know, man. That might just get a little bit too annoying. The Senate says, hashtag straight out of Asgard. Damn right. Alex McCarthy, preach it. Hashtag straight edge. Damn right. So very proud. Mary, thank you so much, seriously, for being so supportive of Gary. He is an awesome dude, and I will, of course, have his back. Matthew Matson says, you got my sub for supporting Gary. This is a great community, Matthew. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. And yeah, he is a great dude. I will support him in any way possible that I can, because I believe not only in his content, but also he's a good guy that got screwed over, and I really hope that they figure that out very soon. Modern Dude says, how's it going, my lord? How's Thor? Thor is doing just fine, causing chaos around the world. Nickel Noodle says, hey, Odin, how many YouTube fandom menacers are on the slate to attend Celebration? Oh, man. I know that I'm going. I know that you have Jeremy going. EVS is going. World Class BSers is going. Nerdrotic is going. So that's 5 right there. Other members of the World Class BSers crew are going too, so I'd add probably another 2 or 3 to that, so that's about 8 people. Let's see, Anna is going, I believe. I believe Anna's going. Jesse Milestone, I believe, is going. Ivan Ortega, I believe, is going. So you're looking at about 10 people there, and there probably are going to be more too. I would not be surprised if maybe John Talk shows up. I don't know. I don't know how many people bought tickets to Celebration versus how many people are going to be in Chicago. Because there are people that are going to be in Chicago, but they might not be going to Star Wars Celebration. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of really, really good people that I really can't wait to meet. Mex says, can't stay, but just wanted to stop and quick say, have a great stream, meatbags. Mex, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Voorhees, what did I miss? Too much. Peter Han says, Odin plus Chicago equals pizza consumed. Oh, man, some Chicago-style pizza is definitely going to be consumed by this Norse god. Dan Maloney says, too many long years for you all, father. Slogs and ale. Damn right. Thank you. Florin, what's going on? Hello, boys and girls. Midnight here. Time for Odin Wisdom. Florin, thank you for stopping by. Hope it's a good evening for you. Carl Mayer says, do you have berserkers yet? If not, will you let us bite our shields? As far as the berserkers, I do have an Alita in her berserker outfit, but that's about as much as I have at this point. But you do whatever it is you want to do, Carl. Jason Sanderson, hey, Odin, did you see your Irish sister's new video? Her singing is so nice. I didn't see that video. I saw a video she did on Twitter, and she indeed, my sister, has a wonderful, wonderful Irish singing voice. Let's see, Benny K's bandwidth word is law. Yes, unfortunately that is the case. The Jeepers Turtle, I've been away for a bit. What's the new figure on the mic? Jeepers Turtle, it has been indeed a very long time. So this is Voltan from Flash Gordon, and he is awesome. Every now and then he'll, make sure that Kylo Ren is, staying a nice firm. Don't worry, I still got my Aussie Rose Tico. She's still hanging out with me right over here. I also have my own Alita Battle Angel sent to me by Alita Troll Gannison that is staring at me right now from one of my speakers as well. But that is Voltan, who is known for saying, Gordon's alive! And is just being awesome. Super Anime Gamer, what is going on, my bruv? Kathleen Horse Kennedy says, hey, H-A-Y Odin. What's going on, Kathleen Horse? Random Nerd of Doom. Odin, how do we defeat Article 13? For starters, if you're in a country that's in the EU, you should probably get out. That's obviously a very complex answer, but really what it comes down to is you have the EU, which is the European Union, which is a conglomeration of various countries that are all under a singular government, also having their own independent governments. And this is the reason why international law and this is the reason why international bodies scare me, because if you give them too much power, and then they have the force and the ability to go into any country, no matter what that country's laws might be, and have an impact on them, that is scary. So European Union reminds me a lot of what the future might look like if we are under the control of, indeed, some type of worldwide government order, which I don't want. Thundercats Ho, what's going on, Thundercats Ho? Thundercats Ho, I saw and heard your name on the Nerdrotic stream earlier, so thank you so much for subscribing. Says, does rewatching his podcast video again and again and again on his new channel, does that count towards his 4,000 watch hours needed to start making money from the live chats? I'm not exactly sure. They've never really made it clear. I think any time spent watching his channel gives him time, but just remember too, even once he hits the 4,000 watch hours, YouTube says very clearly it might take up to a month for us to review everything. So I honestly think that whatever this is, since it very seems to me clearly to be a miscellaneous and frivolous account and frivolous strike, that YouTube hopefully will act over the next couple weeks, but still that's 2 weeks, way too long. But definitely before anything were to happen with the new channel. The new channel, I think, should get support because, let's just be honest, if this happens again, he should have another channel to be able to go back to. And also to have a secondary channel is a good thing because it means that he can do more things on that secondary channel. For example, the Exozone he was talking about, the streams that him and Doomcock are doing where they're talking about UFOs, conspiracies, a lot of fun stuff. So that's something that they might do over on this new channel. But also, too, it's important because we honestly, at this point, don't know how long it's going to take. And also, not going to, again, subscribe to the channel, watch the stream, support him. But Streamlabs is going to be the much quicker option there in order to try and get him some help. MK Dumas says, can you give me a quick rundown of what happened with Gary? I'm late to the party. So quick rundown, a frivolous strike was made against his channel, or rather against one of his videos. The video was forced down. Because it was a strike and not a warning, it means that he can no longer live stream for 3 months. He has since appealed it, and hopefully it will be taken care of as soon as possible. But when you're on YouTube's time, it can sometimes take a very, very long time. CT says, true to be honest, Odin, I think Article 13 is going backfire against the EU. Well, seeing that some of the biggest names on YouTube in general, with millions upon millions of subscribers, were against it, you're damn right it will be. You're going to have people like PewDiePie and so many others who have been against this from the beginning, who basically can, if they really wanted to, they could mobilize a very, very scary force to be able to wreak hell on the phone lines or whatever it is. Any campaign they put forward, whether it's just to have people call their, representatives, to call Parliament, etc. Trust me, they can motivate people in a lot of ways. Super says, Nerdrotic's new channel, please explain. All right, just did. Pindrop's back. What's up, Pindrop? Mary says, he was planning on going on Streamlabs anyway, so I'm hoping he did. Super chats are the easiest, though. Yes, indeed, but I will say this much, that Streamlabs is also very good because, as you've seen already, they pop up. Right, sorry, on this side. So they pop up over here. So the message pops up on the screen. Everyone can see the message. And then also, too, it shows up right in my dashboard so that if it goes away from the screen, it's literally staring me in the face. And so I'm able to do that pretty easily. Let's see. John Early says, I really hope Pokemon Sword and Shield are great RPGs. I want a Pokemon game that doesn't treat you like a noob and is just this really amazing experience to play. Yeah, I mean, having someone that played that classic, Pokemon Red was my jam. Pokemon Red was my jam. Charmander was always my starter. I loved that game. I played a little bit of Yellow, a little bit of Silver, and after that, I just kind of gave up on it. And the only reason why is because, to me, in my belief, in my mindset, there are only 151 Pokemon. Everything else does not exist. Now, some of the new things they added in the newer games I thought were pretty cool, and I'm kind of tempted to try and enter back into it, but overall, I just think they tried to put way too many things in there, man. That's just me, though. That's just me. I love the originals, though. We'll always go back to the originals. So many hours spent playing Pokemon Red. Super says, let's see. I think my favorite part of Article 13 is not only 12 hours later, news dropped Sweden voted for it by accident. To all Europeans, I'm sorry, stay strong. Wait, what? How do you vote for something by accident? How does that happen? Dear Lord. Slicer Neon says, then everything changed when the EU attacked. Where is the avatar when you need one? That's a true statement. The Price is Right review says, curious question for you as someone trying to get my channel going. How can I content copyright issues like this so I can be ready if my content somehow warrants a strike? You cannot prepare for it because any person, I mean, the Nerdrotic one, it was not even a legitimate company. It was a third-party company in Spain that basically claimed that one of the images that was just used in his video was enough to warrant copyright strike. So let's say, for example, I think the one he was using was Hellboy. He had 2 images of Hellboy on screen, and he was trying to compare the 2 images. So he's using it in a transformative way because he's trying to comment on it and use it as compare and contrast. He's not claiming it to be his own, and so therefore it is being used under fair use. However, because any person literally can go in and manually claim something on a video, and because of the way YouTube system is, they automatically accept it as truth before even looking into the matter. What that means is that any channel, essentially any video, can be taken down. And it's a very broken system. The fact that Gary, again, got a copyright strike, which when you get 3 strikes, it means your channel gets taken down. This one just means the one video is taken down and he can't live stream on that channel for 3 months. It is indeed a very dangerous and scary situation. The way that you fight against it, for me, that's why I don't do live trailer reactions. That's why I don't show videos on my streams. That's why I don't do things like that. I read articles for the most part, and during my live streams, I just speak. I don't play around with that. When I do any of my thumbnails, people say, why do you keep using the same thumbnails over and over again? The reason why is because I want to try and use a small quantity of images as possible to try and limit the amount of possibility I have of someone trying to say, oh, you used an image that's not yours, even though I fry every image because, and some people say, why do you keep on frying all of your images, man? It looks bad. I do that because I want to change it as much as possible to try and make it my own so that I can be protected from copyright frivolous lawsuits. And again, really, there's nothing to do. Unfortunately, there's really nothing at this point that we can do to defend ourselves from those frivolous lawsuits. It's absolutely insane. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, people wonder why I voted to leave the EU. Seriously, it's slowly turned into a communist superstate only disguised as democracy. I hear you, man. Trust me, I hear that. I'm in the United States, and I know a lot of us are like, hey, you know, if this country gets taken over in a certain direction, then I want out. Can I fight for my independence again? Is that something that I'm going to have to do? You see it happening in Europe. Europe's a little bit different because you have actual individual countries that were sovereign for a very long time, and, you know, only really in modern history became a part of this, you know, this union that has become stronger and stronger. And Article 13 just makes that body stronger. And I think it brings something brand new to the table when it comes to Brexit. Obviously, I am not well read in the Brexit situation, but to me, that from an outsider's perspective, it looked like a country trying to get the hell out of a system that it did not want to be a part of anymore. And when these are the kinds of things that are being passed and talked about, I can understand why. Okay. Chat jumped on me again, so let's see where we are. Where are we? All right, John Winkler says, hi, Odin, be sure to berate Jeremy if he doesn't show up at your place. So yes, Jeremy, guys, is supposed to be coming into New Orleans Thursday. Holding my breath to see if that actually happens. If it does, trust me, don't worry, we're going to be doing some car videos together. I hope to be able to bring him to a local New Orleans restaurant, but we'll see what happens. He'll have to actually show up here first. Random Nerd Doom says, why would anyone vote for Article 13? This is insane. I agree. The people who want to vote for it are people that like centralized authority and centralized power. There are people out there that like that. There are people out there that even if they are not a part of a government, they would rather have an all-powerful, all-seeing government with pure control than a bunch of people having individual rights. It's a philosophy, and it's a very dangerous one at that. Siggy V says, I want to stay happy. Don't follow the all stupid stuff the EU does. It really makes respect the US of A. Well, again, the US is definitely not perfect either. We've done plenty of stupid things, just even the last day, by having someone who was obviously guilty of something not having charges pressed against them because of reasons. So it's not perfect here either, man, but we as Americans can definitely respect and feel the pain that y'all guys are feeling right now. Because also, too, how long before all of a sudden all of those things begin to affect us as well? Because these things are never isolated. There's always a ripple effect. It's always going to affect more people than just the ones that they claimed it was meant to affect. The Price Right Review says, curious question for someone trying to get my channel up. All right, just answered that question. Tech Guy says, we support Nerdrotic, but I have to say I really enjoy your content, Odin. I went back and watched your old stuff. You have really grown, and your content is really enjoyable. Well, Tech Guy, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I don't know how many people watch my old content. I haven't watched some of my old stuff in a while. I imagine that I've probably changed a bit as far as I would assume confidence probably has grown a great deal, not being as nervous on stream probably. And, you know, I'm sure the topics have been changing as well, the format and stuff. But thank you, Tech Guy. I really do appreciate that. It is something that, again, I love to do. It's so much fun for me. And so thank you for being a part of this channel. And absolutely, man, support Nerdrotic. He deserves it. 70B says, Jesse will protect y'all. Damn right she will. Damn right she will. Perth Comics, what's going on, bruv? Super says, and what's worse is the head of YouTube already said that if Article 13 goes through as planned, they're just going to pull out of Europe, period, because they can't afford the risk. So that is the other reason why, and that is the reason why so many UK YouTubers were speaking out against it, because, as he just said, YouTube planned to pull out of Europe. YouTube, this giant corporation, think about all of the UK streamers, all the streamers that are a part of the EU itself. That is a very bad thing, because that limits voices. It makes things a lot harder for those voices, and so I hope we see a fight against this, because it is going to cause a lot of chaos, especially if YouTube does indeed go forward and pull out. Tina B says, Gary wanted Doomcock to go, but they're concerned the government might track his movements since he has his take over the world plans. Chicago couldn't hold Doomcock. Yes, we must protect our Lord. Hail Lord Doomcock. It's a Trap Productions says, greetings, my lord. Hello, everybody. What's going on, It's a Trap Productions? Septerm Gaming says, the sweatshirt I got of Alita, the manufacturers were from 20th Century Fox. So that means my money is going to the company and the movie itself? Well, all the assets have been acquired by Disney, so all the money went to Disney. Slicer Neon says, Big Grand Moff Shilkin. Big Grand Moff Shilkin. Fear will keep the free peoples in line. Fear of this Article 13. Indeed, by ruling by fear, that is often how people are kept in the dark. G-Monkey says, I got your pizza. Just let me know I'm free Friday, Saturday night, and all day Sunday. G-Monkey, cannot wait to meet you, man. Appreciate that. So I'm going to be coming in Friday morning. My guess is that I'll be going to the hotel to drop my stuff off and then go to Celebration from there. And then in the evening, I know that World Class BSers have already set up a Phantom Menace event, so I'm planning on going to that as well. I'll probably be hanging out with Gary and with Jeremy, since none of us drink, and so I'm sure we'll have kind of our own side gig at the location too, having us some nice Shirley Temples. I know that I will be enjoying myself a beautiful Shirley Temple on the rocks, of course. Cannot have it any other way. I'm so excited. So I will be there all day Saturday as well, and also a little bit of Sunday morning, but I'm leaving early Sunday morning, so I probably won't be too available then. But Saturday is my biggest availability day, and Friday I'm going to be available most of the day. Elda Huga says, Odin with the new way to get in the panels to ask questions by registering for one you want to know. How do you think this is to be abused by Disney to control the narrative? It's a good question. I'm sure that they already have in mind who are going to, because remember that you don't just sign into something and create your own profile. You use your ticket number, and so your ticket number is going to be attached to your identity. And so I honestly think, and I mentioned this to Gary earlier, I'm honestly concerned that there's a chance that people like Jeremy don't get let into certain panels, that people like EVS, oh, that's another one, sorry, EVS is going to be going too, that people like EVS are not allowed to go into certain panels either, even though they wouldn't do anything that, they wouldn't do anything crazy to cause any type of, violence or anything like that. There's people out there that believe they would, and so it is something that's interesting, to say the least, to see what they do to try and control who goes to see what. Scarecrow, peace out, man. Thank you for stopping by. Slyther Neon says, Darth Vader, the ability to copyright the internet is insignificant next to the power of the Phantom Menace. Agreed. Sure, absolutely. Zen Water says, Flash, I love you, but we only have 14 hours left to save the Earth. Dive! Globalism. Indeed, globalism. Price is Right says, curious question for you as someone to try. Dude, okay. Price is Right review. I don't like to yell at people. This is the third time you've posted the question. I've answered the question once. I'm not answering it again. Thank you. MK Dumas, great. Article 11 and 13 got Odin. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, the stream froze. That's not a good thing. Try refreshing it and everything should be okay. Shinville says, article knife to the heart of the internet 13 makes you glad you live in America, doesn't it? Certain times, yes, because we have our own problems over here. Slicer says, war has been declared, scramble the fairies, release the hounds, summon the Valkyries as guardians to battle. Yes, abso-freaking-lutely. Price is Right. I'm about to time you out. Price is Right, if I see that question one more time, I'm putting you in timeout. Just going to be honest. Also, Shaquille Carthorne, welcome to the channel. Ed's Animations, welcome to the channel. Beckinator, thank you very much for the super chat. Sounds like it's time for another revolution. Well, you know. Damn right it is. Strand of Fate, welcome to the channel. Raymond Henjold, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, the next time China has an update for Alita in the next few days or whenever, won't it be a few million by April 24th? Won't Alita have at least 410 to 1450? No. You're reading, again, don't try and read into Box Office Mojo more than what you understand or know. Box Office Mojo, what you see right there now are all of the totals updated. Individual countries have not been updated, but the total is correct. So the total has all of those days. It's just they have not said how much of that is going to each of the countries. So China is not going to affect it all that much. So again, 405 million is around the number I think it's going to end up at, based on everything I've seen. Random Nerd of Dune says, this is not the future I wanted to live in. This timeline is the X-Men Days of Future Past Nightmare Future. We need to send someone back in time to stop this stuff. We need to send someone back to the future. Yes, indeed. But also, Raymond, I really do hope that it makes more. If it does make more in China, great. I just think that it's kind of, unfortunately, reached the end of its run, but it's a pretty damn good run, and I think it's going to make it all back in the Blu-ray sales. Let's see, R3353M. Hello to Odin and his beautiful Valkyries and everyone else in Asgard. What is going on, bruv? Laura says, Amazon does have straight out of Asgard stuff. Boom. Well, that's exciting. I might have to get that shirt for Chicago. Cobra Kaiser Soze says, me. Hello. How's it going? Pete932 says, sooner or later, you and the others should make your own Star Wars celebration with PewDiePie as the host. Oh man, if I could get any type of situation where I get to talk to PewDiePie, that would be awesome. I followed him for a very long time. I fell off for a few years because I just couldn't keep up with it anymore. I came back and now he's even better than he was before. And absolutely, man, I would love to do that. And I think that as Geeks and Gamers and the Phantom Menace would not surprise me. I think Chicago's going to really open the eyes of a lot of these people, because I, as a fan, as someone I feel like I'm a part of the Phantom Menace in multiple ways, I know how big this number is, and I think that once they see just how large that number is, they're going to realize, oh, we could do our own con. It's not going to be as big as, you know, Star Celebration, but we could literally do our own con, and it could be a lot of fun. I'm totally down for that. Let's see. Lousy1989 says, thanks for sticking up for Nerdrotic. He does seem like a good dude like you. Keep it up. Well, Lousy, thank you very much, man. And yes, he is a good dude. Intertrap Production says, Charmander for life, me lord. Yes, Charmander was always the best starter. Force Ghost Jeremy, thank you, dude. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that very, very generous super chat. It says, sorry to hear your news, so please use this to buy some chocolate. Lots of love from the UK. I shouldn't have to use it to buy chocolate because apparently my guardian angel, Laura, Ryan Stole My Fanfiction Story, has sent me a crap ton of chocolate. Last time I heard her say, she said a pound. I don't know how true that is, but if it is, I probably have a lot of chocolate heading my way. But thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that support, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you. I was able to get a lot of information out today, a lot of resumes, stuff like that. So here's hoping. Here is hoping. I still got some time, though, before my time at my current location is through. Aaron C. says, don't know if you want to wade into it, but any thoughts on Smollett having all charges dropped? Not really, but part of the content of this channel. But, okay, Price is Right. I got to do it. Valkyrie, please put Price is Right into timeout. He asked me the same question 6 times. 6 times. I love you, Price is Right, but you gotta learn how to not spam the chat. Okay. Anyway, as far as Aaron C. is saying there, when it comes to the Smollett thing, again, beyond this, all I can say is that he obviously did something wrong, and I think that he should face repercussions. And getting essentially what equates to a slap on the wrist is a slap to our justice system. Taylor Potter, what's going on, dude? Random Nerd of Doom says, we need to find a way to stop government corruption so that no one has to live as a peasant. Article 13 must fall for the All-Father. And again, the only way that we can do that is by trying to elect people into positions of power that will basically try and take away their power. It's a very rare thing It's a hard thing to do, to find someone who wants to get involved in political life and therefore also wants to give up any power that they might have. It's hard, but it's possible. Other than an actual revolution, there's really no other way to do that, and I don't believe necessarily that a violent revolution is required at this juncture, personally. Dan Maloney says, I don't play any further than Generation 3, can't get into later generations. Yeah, 2 is where I stop, but 1 is my jam, for sure. John Winkler says, hi, Odin, be sure to berate Jeremy. All right, Winkler, I've already answered that as well. Guys, so if this is your first time here, I read every single chat. I read every single chat that I can. So please do not repeat chats unless I say, oh, definitely missed some chats. Go ahead and put repeats in there. All right? Cool. Because I'm going to fall behind. And so it's not that I'm not seeing your chat. It's that I'm probably 20 minutes behind and I'm going to get to your chat. But if I get to your chat and then I see your chat 1,000 times, then at that point I might ignore it. I'm just saying. All right, Super says, Swedish officials pushed the wrong button on their panels. Frickin' boomers, man. How do you do that? That is ridiculous. Pete972 says, off topic, but I'm in the mood. Luai. So good. PB, what's going on, PB? It's been a while. Daddy Pants 11 says, EU is what happens when you disarm the masses. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Alexander, what is going on? How's it going, good sir? Santa Spoiler Anna says, I claim this video. Please direct any further super chats to me and nor Odin. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you, Santa Spoiler. Jeremy's above average tweet. Thank you for the super chat. I always love to see that name mentioned in the chats whenever it's on the Geeks and Gamers channel. That's such a great name. Raymond Henjold, also thank you for the super chat, says, if Alita was a Pokemon, she would have been my favorite Pokemon. Yes, Raymond, abso-freaking-lutely, man. Alita's so great. And she would have been a great Pokemon. Sticky V says, search for Dan Bull, Robo, copyright, my favorite English rapper, and he's very smart. Okay, cool. John Early says, is Deadpool, Logan, and Deadpool 2 your favorite non-Marvel MCU films? Probably. Yes, probably, I would say. Deadpool was great. Logan might have been the best made film. Deadpool might be my favorite just because it's so freaking funny. But Logan is definitely, I would say, one of the best made superhero films ever. From a purely objective standpoint, it's just so well crafted, so well made, and a great story. And a really great story. Let's see. Yivo left a comment, and that's when it jumped. All right. Thundercats Ho says, Europe has forced this through. The European elections are very soon, so it could have just lost and forgotten. I really hope not. I hope they remember and they vote for people that are going to try and repeal it. And hopefully that will have a major impact on the EU in general. Random Nerd of Doom says, I'm worried for Canada's future. Canada and USA need to team up to defeat this stupid authoritarian crap. I agree, man. You got to be careful, because as soon as you're willing to give up even the smallest slice of freedom, everything else follows. Everything else follows. Obviously, we cannot live in a totally unfettered society. We do indeed need to have some type of regulations in general. And when I say regulations, I'm not talking about like hardcore regulations, because human nature itself is obviously imperfect. For example, we need jails to hold people that commit terrible crimes. We need to make sure that murder is always seen as wrong. We need courts and judges. So again, we need a system in place. But what we don't need is we don't need Big Brother looking over our shoulder, looking into our private life, and also determining what the best way for us to live our life is either. Now, there are certain things out there that you might say that's not, you don't match up with that at all. For example, I think smoking, I think public smoking should be outlawed. The reason why is because there's too much evidence to suggest and support that secondhand smoke has a major impact on the human body. As someone that doesn't smoke, as someone who lost a grandfather very early to smoking, to emphysema, those are the types of things where I'm like, okay, no, when you're doing that in public and you're affecting other people, that I think is a problem. Now, do I think that the government should therefore be able to go into your house and take your cigarettes? Absolutely not. I think that if you're smoking at your home, no problem with that. But it's kind of similar. So as long as you're not doing damage, my philosophy is this. As long as you are not doing damage to another person, you should be allowed to do whatever it is that you want to do. As long as you're not doing damage to another person or yourself. I would add that to it as well, because we also sometimes need to protect people from themselves. But also, too, there's a balance there. Again, you cannot just have, I would not want a federal government to be in charge of this body. I want it to be a local body that can easily be replaced every 1, 2, 3 years, instead of a giant machine that's in Washington, D.C., at least the United States, that is in power for 50, 60, 70 years. Taylor Potter says, it's like we're living in the upside down world from Stranger Things. It really is, dude. It really, really is. Yivo says, there have been tons of protests against Brexit in the past few days. A petition for a second vote got like 50,000 or 50 million signatures. My countrymen are crazy. Yes, dude. It's like, if you cared that much about it, why didn't you vote against it the first time? Why did you not vote against it when you could? These people are silly. Super says, my comment got skipped. In a nutshell, Article 13 can override copyright law. It makes creators and their hosts responsible for any copyrighted shared content. Exactly right, which means that YouTube becomes more liable in that situation, which means people can take YouTube to court, which is why YouTube would much rather take themselves out of the entire country than have to deal with it, because of the risk factor, because that is what they would have to be dealing with. So it's insane. It absolutely is insane. So Super, thank you very much for that. See, that's how you do it. See, Super says my comment was skipped because he's following along in the chat. He knows when his chat was put out there. He says, wait a minute, this didn't happen. Okay, now I can put my chat out there. Again, Super understands the game. Super understands and knows how to ask the questions and how to repeat his questions. So one more time, because it was a very good comment, what Article 13 does is it overrides copyright law, making creators and their hosts responsible for any copyrighted shared content. It changes the entire game. Corey Wren says, Odin, how are you doing, buddy? It was so nice to see you in the Geeks and Gamers live stream. You were the highlight for me with the ladder. With the ladder. Yeah, I want to go with the ladder. Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you so much for supporting From the Streets, Odin. 8 Mile Odin, I'm telling you, man. Scooter 2D2 says, yo, Odin, yo, Scooter, what's going on, man? James Hancock says, have you mentioned the Nightfall premiere that had Mark Hamill in a consequential role? I'm very optimistic. I have not seen it yet. He looks great from the images I've seen. Don't have time to watch it. Super says, they already demoed a version Article 13 in Spain, and Google was forced to pull their news aggregator because of the copyrighted photos in articles. They still aren't back. Think about that for the entire EU, all of Europe, without YouTube. There's a lot of people there, a lot of really great, talented content creators. That's going to really suck. So if you have an election coming up, vote for people that are going to vote to try to repeal that nonsense. Random Nerd of Goom says, the only way globalism could work is if aliens invaded Earth and all the countries in the world united together to fight them. Pretty much. Lazy Tano says, hi, Odin, where's the puppies at? The puppies are out with Freya. They will probably be in over the next, let's see, I'll probably be on for another 30, 45 minutes or so. So probably sometime over that. And then I'm going to have to jump on with Gary because I'm going to try and help him get set up with Streamlabs tonight. Though something tells me he will probably get invited to the High Council. If I would to imagine, he'll probably get invited to the High Council because obviously I think that what happened to him is pretty big news. So I'm going to have to message him in a second. But let me just make sure I'm able to catch up on these things. Steph says, Odin said Jeremy is supposed to come in and visit for a car video Thursday. Yes, so 70B, thank you. So Jeremy is supposed to be coming into New Orleans on Thursday. We're going to be recording a car video. Who knows? Maybe we'll do like a special Odin from the Streets. I don't know if I would want to do that, though. I don't feel safe doing that in my own city. But we'll see what happens. We'll have fun. We'll definitely have fun. We'll definitely grab dinner, have fun, get to talk, get to chat, etc. And so my video on Thursday might be late. I might try and do something beforehand. I don't know. But it also depends on whether Jeremy actually comes in. This is still something that is not confirmed yet. Random Nerd of Doom says, I miss the 1990s when people were sane. This future seems almost like a parallel future. It really does, doesn't it? It's amazing that we're living in this world now. It really is. Subterm Gaming says, to be honest, more excited for Men in Black than Endgame. Oh, damn. I wouldn't go that far. Endgame looks exciting because even with all of the thoughts and all the issues I have with Captain Marvel and the MCU's future, cannot deny that the last Endgame trailer, as far as the one that was going back to the first Iron Man, to the first Thor, Captain America, got me in the feels, man. Because the MCU has been, in many places, very good, especially with the Russo brothers and what they've done with Captain America. So there's a lot of things to look forward to. I'm actually optimistic for Men in Black International, but that's because I like the actors involved. Apex Snowboy says, I'm buying every one of my close friends and family a copy of Alita when it comes to hope that helps the sales. Damn right, it indeed will. Loud noises. What did I do with the loud noises? What? Aiden Vickery says, my understanding of Article 13 is that it makes the YouTube job harder, but still doesn't stop them talking about anything. Is that your understanding? As I said before, I'm not an expert on it, but it just sounds like it's going to make things more difficult, and it's going to make a lot more people try and say, yeah, I'm just going to step out. I'm just done. And if YouTube, as a giant company, makes the decision to step out of an entire area, that is going to have major ramifications. Elder Kuga says, is it possible for a Alita sequel at this point? I hope so because of the manga fan. It was very fun to see a manga that actually was awesome. Definitely. Absolutely possible. No doubt in my mind is that possible. And the reason why is because, yes, it's not going to reach the break-even number in the box office, but Blu-ray sales, it's going to be good. It's going to have really, really, really good Blu-ray sales. No doubt about that in my mind. And because of that and any other merchandising it might get, it's going to make money from it. PB says, did you see that Shuri was officially put on the list of people who were snapshored? Good. She was annoying. WB says, okay. Perfect. Leonardo da Vinci, what's going on, bruv? CWD Trixie says, bet you can't forget the classic missing no. Oh my gosh, the missing no? Dude, I would use that sheet every single time. Because, I'm sorry, there are certain things you cannot, it is almost impossible to catch a, it's impossible to catch any of the birds, any of the legendary birds without having a Master Ball. And you're only given one. So, of course, I'm going to use that trick, the missing no trip, to copy that item in, what, the 6th or 9th slot? I think it's the 6th slot. So that way I can have an unlimited number of Master Balls. So that way I can catch the Articuno and the Zapdos and the Moltres. Leonardo da Vinci says, is that the Hawkman from Flash Gordon on your microphone? Dive! What do you think? Super Anime Gamer says, oh, I'm so sorry, Odin. Something happened with work. I wasn't around to hear. If you don't want to repeat, don't have to. Just know I wish you the best of luck. Yes, indeed. So my contract was not extended through next year because there is basically no room for me. There's lower enrollment. They're bringing other people in. And it's actually a good thing, the people that they're bringing in, because it's very closely associated with the identity of the school. But it also means that I am in the lurch. And so that was kind of what was affecting me the last few weeks. And it still is, because now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing next year, let alone where I'm going to be living next year, because that could also be impacted. Let's see. Lacey Tano, love a sassy Odin. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Burn says, I'm down. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. The chat skipped on me again. La da 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 da. Love sassy Odin. There it is. But anyway, Strand of Fate. Thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Says, I have a small channel, very young. I cover comic book movies and TV shows and the SJW nonsense surrounding my niche of entertainment. Any tips to grow? Firstly, thank you very much for the super chat. One of the best ways is to market and to network. So this is a first start off. I got, what, 200 people watching? Guys, Strand of Fate. Go check out his channel, Strand of Fate. Give him a look. If the content looks good to you guys, subscribe, like, give him some love. So one of the best things you can do is network, man. Reach out to other people. You don't have to just do it by super chat. DM people. DM people like Jeremy. That's how I know that I got a huge foot in the door over at Geeks and Gamers, was just by reaching out to him. Not badgering him, but reaching out to him, just saying, hey, man, I know you're busy. When you have time, if you could take a look, that'd be great. And then over time, being a part of his streams and part of his communities and networking, and now I have contacts with so many other YouTube channels, and it's just, that's how you grow. And basically find that niche, find that thing you're passionate about. If you have passion, if you speak truth to power, and also if you have that talent, because there obviously needs to be that level of you being able to present your message in a way that can be perceived and can be consumed by a group of people. If you have all of those things, you can grow an audience. But networking is one of the best things that you can do. So Strand of Fate, thank you very much for that super chat, man. Hope that was helpful. And again, reach out to me, Twitter or email, and I will do everything that I can to try and help you. And again, Strand of Fate, go check out the channel. Force Ghost Jeremy says, I just uploaded a Frozen Star Wars parody video on YouTube. The link is on my Twitter if anyone wants to laugh. So guys, go check out Force Ghost Jeremy's Twitter and go check out his video. Soul Assassin says, do you remember the Poker Rap song they used to play after the cartoon? Charmeleon, War Turtle, you two, slow poke, Pidgeot, Argot. That's all, Arbok. That's all, folks. Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all, yeah. Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all, yeah. I don't remember every single part of it. Again, I don't remember every single part of the song, but I do know much of it. Surfterm Gaming says, I wouldn't mind living in the Iron City, just don't do any serious crimes. I don't know, man. Iron City... As much as Iron City is beautiful on the screen, don't know if I'd want to live there. Doesn't seem like my kind of utopia. Random Narrow Doom says, why can't more people just wake up and understand PC is bad and freedom of speech is good? Because some people just aren't raised that way. There are some people that honestly believe that having some sense of control over the people in this world is a good thing. That freedom is not good. That freedom should be restricted by a vast amount. Because, as I said, they base it off of a truth, which is that human nature is not predictable, that human nature cannot be controlled, and so therefore they think the more centralized power we have, the more protection that we have against human nature, but that is just not true. It's just not true. No matter how much you try and force somebody to change, the only person that can possibly bring about any change is you. You're the only power, you have the only power in the world to change yourself. At the end of the day. Sticky V says, why don't you have more videos on your channel? I bet people like you. 70B, it's just because she is not someone who wants to really get into it. We've said this, I mean, I said this months ago, and everyone has. If she ever decides to start doing full YouTube, she will have a plethora of subscribers already, and also so many people willing to support her and help her. But right now, she is just not choosing to do so. Jace Doe. Of the Phase 4 movies announced, which ones are you looking forward to? I'm intrigued by Guardians 3. I liked Guardians 1 a lot. I don't like James Gunn as a person. I think he's despicable. That's just my own personal opinion. But I still like Guardians 1 and Guardians 2. So I'm interested to see where Guardians 3 goes, what it does with the story and everything that they left off with in Guardians 2. I think that it's going to leave a lot of questions. And I'm very interested by that. As far as other ones go, Shang-Chi. Someone actually explained to me who was it Shang-Chi? I think that's the person's name. And how he was very big in the 70s and 80s. And how he very much will be a more, less superpower and more like the Master of Kung Fu is his other moniker. So I'm very excited for that. I would love to see a Kung Fu type film in the MCU. But that, of course, is assuming they don't go completely woke. James Hancock says, did you hear of Nightfall? New show, Mark Hamill looks very dignified. I have not actually seen it yet, though. PB says, do you mean outdoor public smoking? Anything in which there is... people in the general populace, in the general public, who will be affected by it, not by their choice, that is what I'm talking about. So if I'm walking down the street, for example, if the street is a public street, I don't think someone should be allowed to smoke and blow smoke in my face. That's me. That's about as far as I'll go with it, and that's only with smoking. Because that is, again, something that scientifically has been shown to have an impact on people. And if I'm not choosing that, if I don't want my lungs affected by that, then I should not have to experience it. But I'm not saying that you need to take away forcibly. Because also, even though I say that, I do not want the government to come in and forcibly take anything out of anyone's homes or anything like that. I will never, ever, ever want to go that far. Lovey is God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Scooter says, freedom of speech and fair use should not be buried. Yes, safeties, but not regulated like crazy. Regulated like crazy. Absolutely, man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Sean Wright says, I know you are a religious studies teacher and are likely very religious. I never hear you mention God or preach in any way. Is this a conscious effort? No. I mean, you haven't been watching the channel very long. I've had videos before. I've had live streams before where we had an entire episode dedicated to theology. It has happened. So it's not that I try and hide it necessarily. It's just that I also understand that every person is not going to be thinking the same way that I am. I have no problem, and I'm not scared to evangelize. But also, when it comes to this stuff, it's not really, I feel, a place to actually I feel like you can evangelize not even by speaking God's name, meaning that it's by how you live and how you act that you are able to show people who you really are. And if I was using the name of God, if I was speaking on that way, sure, that could be great, and I could say some really great things about it. But if I'm not truly living it out, then the words would be empty. So I'd rather try and do the very best that I can to live out my life the way that I do in the best way possible, because obviously I'm a work in progress, as all of us are works in progress in this life. That's a very good question, though. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. One Infinity Stone D says, greetings from Chicago native. Love to see guys like yourself, EVS, Nerdrotic, and the like spitting truth and reason in this nearly literal crap storm that is entertainment. Well, thank you, man. I really do appreciate that. You are awesome. And no problem at all. John Early says, I've always geek out when I see actors who have been in superhero films and other films, like Enemy of the State has original Lex Luthor, Gene Hackman, and future Deadshot, Will Smith. Yes, 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 yes. I love classic films where other actors are in it. Random Nerd Dune says, we need a policy where when a politician gets sworn in that they are required by law to get truth serum injection and take it every day so they can never lie, and we get honesty. The best way that you do that, or the way that you get those people out of regulation, is you do something about term limits. One of the only ways that we can really do that at this point is by having a convention of states. Many people don't realize that we can actually make new amendments to the Constitution through an amendment, or rather through a convention of states. It's not easy to do, but seeing that there are certain states that have the numbers to be able to at least get the process going, that could be a option. Not like in the next couple days, but maybe over the next few years, maybe. PB says, did you see that Shuri was officially put on the Snapchat list? I did. That's fine by me. She was annoying. MK Dumas says they did vote against Brexit. More people voted for it. Yep. Super says, Brexit is a mess. I cannot understand why Scotland and Ireland wanted to stay, and I can't believe it was such a narrow victory. I know there are lots of problems, so I just hope for the best. Yeah, and again, because I don't live there, it's hard for me to really make a comment on it, because I don't have a right to say whether or not the people should do one thing or the other. But what I do say is that if most people in a legitimate election have voted for something, and the law states that what's been voted for should be followed, and there's nothing intrinsically evil about that thing they voted for, I think it's wrong to not allow that to happen. The reason why I worded it in that way is because if a vast majority of people voted for something like slavery or something intrinsically evil, then at that point I would say, well, I don't care what the vast majority of people think, because that's an intrinsically evil act. But this is not talking about that. This is talking about a group of people that wanted to break away from the European Union for independence, and that is the reason why we have this situation. Very, very different. And so for me, from an outsider's perspective, I'm not voting one way or the other. I don't support or denounce Brexit, but because the people voted the way they did, and the election was won by one side, that one side, in their victory, should be allowed to have what was planned take place. All the dragging of the feet essentially says, so what was the point of the election? What was the point of the vote in the first place, the referendum, if you weren't actually going to enforce the results? It kind of makes you question, why are we even living in a civilized society if what we vote for does not actually come into fruition? It would be like if I said, all right, all the people have voted for this person, and then all of a sudden someone over here who wasn't even running is now president. Wait, what? Why in the hell did I even vote in the first place? It doesn't make any sense. Again, this is just from an outsider's perspective. Super says, Brexit is a mess. Okay, got that one. Aiden Vickery says, VPN software was created for the likes of Article 13 and for watching BBC iPlayer when out of country. So if indeed you see YouTube pull out of Europe, can a VPN software allow for these YouTubers to access YouTube still? I don't know how that works. Tech Guy says, from the streets, Odin needs to eat that mom spaghetti. His vomit is out of the sweaty already. Mom spaghetti. He's nervous. Yes, indeed. I need to get some rhymes ready too. 8-Bit Snake Boy says, I signed several petitions against Article 11 and 13, but the corporations have been lobbying hard to push this crap through. It took 5 minutes to get approved. It's fixed, in my opinion. And also, with the very fact that one country chose the wrong button, it sounds like there are a lot of issues going on with this vote. 70B says, be nice to Jeremy, taking him to that oyster place. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to be going to Drago's, and the oysters are just, I don't like raw oysters in general. Fried oysters I do, because I think fried is good. But there's these things called char-grilled oysters, and they're oysters that are cooked over an open flame with cheese and butter. It's good. Even if you don't like shellfish or anything like that, you will like these because it's all cheese and butter, and it's absolutely delicious. Not nutritious, but absolutely delicious. Mikey Wood says, can you give a shout out to Patty Max, the Celebration Meetup Locale? Yes, indeed, Mikey Wood. So for those that don't know, if you're going to be in Chicago for Star Wars Celebration or just in the area for the people going to Star Wars Celebration, we are indeed having a meetup at Patty Max. That is where the Phantom Menace meetup is going to be on Friday night, I believe around 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7:30, around that time. The World Class BSers are the ones that set it up, so they have the official time, and I'm sure many people in the chat are going to be able to tell you the exact time, but Patty Max is the location, so look up Patty Max, save it in your maps, and be ready to meet there on Friday night. I will be there for sure. I will be, hopefully there'll be some food that I can eat there with a place called Patty Max. I hope there's a nice, at least bar burger that I can eat, because I'm not going to be drinking, but this man can eat. And it'll be really cool to meet up with some of you guys. I'm, of course, going to try and bring the hats. I'm going to try and do some vlogging from that entire situation as well. And definitely not going to be able to do a live stream because that entire area is going to be so congested with data usage. It's going to be absolutely insane. Slicer Neons, but again, huge shout out to Patty Max. That is the location of the Phantom Menace meetup. Slicer Neon says, I hope when we're old we can look back and say, glad that didn't last long. Feels like a dystopia right now. I agree. Wouldn't it be nice? Heimdall, that's not your site. It's Odin, says Burns. Heimdall is my friend. Heimdall is a friend of mine. Heimdall is my friend. Random Nerd Doom says, was that Brie Larson ever a good person at one point in her life? Or was she always this soulless and mean? I mean, what her mirror universe counterpart is like? I know that as far as acting is concerned, she was great in Room. Again, she was great in Room. I'm sure at one point in her life she was a very nice person, and then just seems like she got further and further into the indie side of Hollywood, and if you're going to go anywhere, the indie side of Hollywood is not the best place to go if you want to stay sane, based on what I have seen. So it is really sad. It is very, very sad to see how far she has fallen off in that way. Alrighty. Sorry, catching up with the chat. Sorry. All right, Sticky V there, and let me go ahead and just shout out. So once again, shout out to Nerdrotic. Please go give him some love. Please go give him a subscribe on his new channel, and please do so. I'll catch you after my stream. God, Gary's awesome. All right. Sorry, he left a very funny message. So he's a good guy. So once again, big part of the stream is, of course, to support the new Nerdrotic channel while he's dealing with all this copyright strike nonsense. Sorry, I was getting confused. Like, wait a minute, we're talking about Article 13. Wait a minute, they're all talking about somewhat of the same topic in the same vein of things. Go support his new channel, Valkyrie. Please, again, post the new Nerdrotic channel. It is a temporary thing because obviously at some point, since I know he is not in the wrong, it's a temporary measure. But in the meantime, he obviously still wants to do all the things that he's had planned. For example, he has a nooner tomorrow. That's what, if you don't know his schedule, go to nerdrotic.com. Again, nerdrotic.com. Really cool dude. Love his graphics. Love his podcast. He turns his live streams into podcasts. He does a lot of live streams too. So this has had a major impact on him and his schedule. So go give his new channel some love. I'm going to try and get him set up tonight with Streamlabs. So that way when he streams tomorrow, you'll be able to support him, donate to him, and he'll be in a much better situation until YouTube figures these things out. So once again, huge shout out to nerdrotic.com. Gary, you are indeed an amazing human being. Sticky V says, what would you say to somebody sending you 2 stuffed ravens? Okay. I mean, realistically, you can send me whatever you want as long as it's not like, a severed head or something that ticks or something. Send me something that was obtained morally and ethically, and we should be okay. I was like, for the part of me, I was like, send me anything, and then I'm like, I kind of need to watch my words there because there are some people out there that say, send anything you say. I wonder what I could do with this. Zenwater says, I think my comment got skipped. Favorite New Orleans restaurants and dishes. I do like me some crawfish are great. Crawfish boils are awesome. Favorite restaurants, definitely would put Acme Oyster House up there. Definitely would put in there Drago's is another great New Orleans restaurant too. And I'm trying to think of what else. There are a couple other ones too. I'm just blanking on them right now. I'm also not a huge New Orleans guy. I do like the food. The food is one of the few things that I really do actually enjoy about my culture here. Music is good too, but overall, I kind of just stay away from a lot of that nonsense. Overall, king cake is awesome too. King cake is so good. Tina says, yep, I need this info too. I'm coming to NOLA in November. Sue! Yes, Tina! In November. All right, well, if I'm still in town, if I'm still here in New Orleans, because again, who knows where I'll be, then definitely we'll have to meet up with Tina. And even before then, over the summer, I theoretically could have a lot more free time. And if I'm able to do any traveling, there are a couple places that I know I'll be traveling. And there are Valkyrie at both of those locations because I need to meet up with them and we need to hang out. Elda Huga says, I just realized something because Disney owns Fox and Alita is part of Fox. Does this mean Alita Battle Angel is a Disney princess? Oh, man. Elric. Disney princess, Alita Battle Angel, damn right. 70B says, Sassy Odin scares me. I'm sorry about that. Peabody says, Odin is moving to Perth. Aussie Rose is coming home. Yes, the Aussie Rose Tika is coming home, and I am bringing the Catholic faith to Australia. It has been deemed so by Mr. Peabody and all of my and Perth Comics and my entire Australian contingency that the game plan is for me to move to Australia and to spread the Catholic faith to Australia. Hey, if nothing comes up there, there's always that as an option, I guess. CWD Trixie. On a side note, they still got my classic Pokemon game cartridge of Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, and all on Game Boy. I still have my original Red. It erased, though, my original state. It was very sad. When I tried booting it up and I was like, wait a minute. Why are my hundreds of hours now gone that I put into the game? It was a very, very sad occasion. But you know what? Life goes on, and there's more important things. James Hancock says, we could buy millions of Blu-rays and fudge the numbers like Corrupt Marvel. We could do that. James Hancock, I'll say this much. If we were ever told by like James Cameron himself, this is the number that Alita needs to make, I would probably dedicate live stream after live stream of raising money so that we could buy the DVDs and Blu-rays in mass quantities to get it to that point. That's how passionate the fan base is. And not to mention, that would be so much fun. Imagine telethons raising money to buy Blu-rays just so that we can get a sequel. I know it sounds funny to some people, but for me, I'm like, that's just awesome. And that's also just how great this overall community is. Not just the Alita community, but the entire Phantom Menace community also. Let's see, Sebastian Magana, welcome, welcome, welcome. Classic Lou Reviews says, Computing Forever did a complete breakdown on 1311. He is in Ireland. All right, well, thank you for that. So Computing Forever apparently did a very good breakdown of Article 13 and 11. Modern Dude says, I think the chat skipped my last comment. I think I said you didn't answer it, and it was about 20 minutes ago. So basically, there are certain times when the chat will jump on me, and certain comments will get skipped because it only goes up so far. But I can't tell what chats have been skipped or not. So if you ever notice that a chat's been skipped, if there's ever anything that, it's what I would recommend you do is if there's a comment you really want read out loud, remember the comments that are next to it. And if you notice that those comments have been read and yours hasn't, it's been skipped. And then that's when you can post again. Zenwater says, I'm sorry again about you having to go looking to another job. I've been looking for a teaching position for 2 years. Zenwater, trust me, man, it's a tough life. I am lucky enough to live in an area where there are a lot of Catholic schools, and so there are going to be a lot of opportunities, and so I am very hopeful. I'm very positive. I have a lot of friends in contacts in various places, and I will of course be blessed if that's the case. If my if my journey is not to continue on in that direction, then I'll have to cross that bridge when I get to it. If I need more education to be able to teach multiple subjects, that is obviously a road that I could take. If I need to do other things, I don't know what those things would be. Obviously, we're kind of in, unknown territory here because this is the first time in about 4 or 5 years that I haven't known what I'm going to be doing over the next year. I don't know what I'm going to be doing in August or September. And that's a very weird feeling for me. And that's the reason why it kind of hit me so hard. And thinking about my guys, thinking about my juniors who I'm teaching this year, who I've had, you know, again, as I mentioned before, I taught like 90% of the junior class at the school that I currently work at. And the fact that I will not be able to see them as seniors, the fact that I will not be able to be there as a teacher at their graduation, because I've already told them that I will do everything in my power to be at their graduation next year because, as I said, some of the guys I've taught 3 years in a row. So some of these guys I've known for 3 years. And as a student-teacher relationship, that's a very big deal. And that's not just something that I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm done. You know, this has never just been, if this was ever about the money for me or about the job, I mean, why would I have gone into teaching? The pay is not there. You know, the fact that it's a year-to-year contract, that nothing's guaranteed, that you can just be like that, you know, you put your heart into everything. And so I really do appreciate, though, that support. And I know it's tough, but we have to have faith. We have to have faith at the end of the day, and I do. Yivo says, not doing the poker rap as Odin from the streets. Yeah, see, that's what, oh my gosh. So, Yivo, this is what I need to do. I need to memorize those raps again, so that way when I'm in Chicago, I can just put up the hood. Hopefully it's cold so that I can wear the hoodie. I can put up the hood and then just go, like, straight into, you know, like, you know, oh, sorry, that doesn't look good. Hold on. Let me get this straight up. All right, yeah. You know, I could be like, Chameleon, what? Yeah. I'm not gonna do the full thing now because I don't know the words. I'm just not in the mood. Random Nerd Dude says, would Deadpool be a good Pokemon trainer, or would he just shoot Ash Ketchum and steal all his Pokemon? Yes, the latter. Zen says, Odin's speech on changing yourself, the man in the mirror begins to play in the background. Greta, what's going on, Greta? It's been so long. Hope you're doing fine. Let's see. Steaky V says, I really do believe our modern way of living has eradicated a lot of wisdom out of education. The importance of things like free speech are just swept under the carpet. And there are people out there, too, that don't realize it's going on. There are people out there whose speeches are being infringed upon on a daily basis or are infringing upon the speeches of others, and they don't realize that that's what they're doing. You know, when you have these people who are boycotting speakers at colleges, they don't understand that what they're doing is they're shutting down someone from sharing an opinion. They are at that point weaponizing their own voice to shut down the voice of others. Notice how I've been talking about Captain Marvel on my YouTube channel, but at no point would I ever go to an individual person at a theater and say, don't go see this movie, you're a terrible person. I would never do that. As I said, if you want to go see the movie, I don't hate you. If you like the movie subjectively, I don't hate you. I'm going to want to have a conversation because I think you need to start. I'm hoping that you can understand there's some objective flaws of the movie. If we can at least agree on that, then we can have our differences on the subjective point of view. But really, it is interesting that we, for some reason, cannot hear the other side anymore without not seeing the human. We no longer see that person as a person. Instead, they become an object. Instead, they become essentially some soulless, autonomous thing. And the truth is that that's not the case at all. You know, despite all the things I've said about Brie Larson or about Kathleen Kennedy or Ryan Johnson, they are human people. They are body and soul. Sorry, get into theology for a second. They are therefore inherently good. They have dignity and worth. Now, that does not mean that they are beyond criticism. That does not mean that they are beyond being called out when they do certain things. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that we can never allow any anger or frustrations that we feel to turn into hatred. It's really going back even to the way of the Jedi itself. I mean, think about it. There are certain emotions that lead to other emotions that lead to the dark side. And I feel as a Catholic especially, what we're being taught is that we need to take care not to let ourselves fall into the dark side, because there's a time and place when we are so far gone, it's so hard to come back. Once you've gone down a path far enough, it becomes so hard. Not impossible, but so hard to come back. And that's why all of us, including myself, because I do not excuse myself from any of the things that I say. Anything I teach in my class, I say, guys, everything I'm saying to you applies directly to me. Because I am not free from sin. I'm not free from mistakes. I make mistakes on a daily basis. I am a flawed individual. The difference and the question is, do you recognize that you're flawed as well? And if you recognize that, do you have the will to try and do something about it? Because that's the difference between anyone, is do you recognize the flaws you have? And if you do, are you willing to do something about it? So anyway, that's That's me getting on my little, theology soapbox for a second. Anyway, Earl Wynn, you are my own Odin. It hasn't been proven that cigarette tobacco causes cancer. 100% not been proven. Earl Wynn, I'm going to have to just vehemently disagree with you. I'm sorry. My grandfather did not get emphysema because it happened to happen. He got emphysema because he smoked cigarettes. And because my grandfather died earlier than any of my other friends' grandfathers died because of emphysema, it's a personal issue for me. And as I said, if you want to choose that for yourself, you have, I think, every right to choose that for yourself. But if you're going to be in a public space that other people, kids, etc., are going to be walking around, I don't think you should be allowed to smoke a cigarette. That's just me. And again, that's one of the only times, that's one of the only things that I say you should not be able to do this in public. There should be limitations on it. There are a lot of other things that I'm like, no, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. But to me, you are potentially doing damage to an individual in that. So it's one of the few things where I will probably get the most blowback on because I know there's still a lot of smokers out there. MCOC Josh, what's going on, bruv? Tech guy, Odin is a geek like us. Damn right, man. Damn right. Odin talking about you needing a channel. You're amazing. I'd watch it. Yes, absolutely. She needs a channel. Mad Mitch says, preach it. Do everything I can, man. Jason Sanderson says, I'm totally on board with banning public smoking, also because of the litter from cigarette butts everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, I just think there's too many problems that come along with it. Christopher Mills says, is Odin going to restart the stream? Why would I restart the stream? Malaparo says, you have the right to speak your mind. Thank you, Malaparo. Appreciate it. Infinite Wanderer says, the problem with Brexit is that the people want to leave, but the government doesn't want to leave. Yes. Yes, that is the biggest problem with all of this. Random Nerd Dude, hey, Odin, do you watch ancient pagan gods in Egypt? Ancient times have been aliens from another planet that our ancestors mistook for gods? No. No. I do not accept that. I don't go into conspiracy theories. Something that sounds like something that would fit well into the exozone. Nerdrotic, Gary, and Doomcock. I know that they talk about that kind of stuff. I don't do that. I don't accept that. Not my cup of tea. MCOC says, oh, Odin, did you hear what Zack Snyder said about people who have a problem with his portrayal of Batman v Superman? Yes, not a very good way to try and get people back into your good graces, Zack Snyder. Infinite Wanderer says, the problem with Brexit is that people want to leave, the government doesn't want to leave, and Theresa May doesn't want to leave herself. She lied to get into office. Yeah, it's just a bunch of people who are so full of themselves. So yeah, Productions, what's up, dude? Random Air Doom says, will we ever have a future similar to Star Trek? Also, what kind of government is Star Trek? Capitalism, socialism, fascism, or communism? I'm not a big Star Trek guy. My wife's a huge Trekkie, so she might be able to have some thoughts on that. I am not. And so I honestly would not really know. To me, it seems more like a centralized government. So I wouldn't say it's capitalism. I wouldn't say it's necessarily socialism either. I would say it might be more of an oligarchical system, because there is definitely a centralized government. But as I said, I'm not a Star Trek guy. Darkstar says 34 states have called for a constitutional convention. There it is right there, Darkstar. Absolutely. So 34 out of 50 states, and you need only a certain number to be able to have it. So a constitutional convention at this point is the best chance that, at least in the U.S., we have to actually create amendments that would include things like term limits, which I think is something that we drastically need. Tina says, did you say Drago's Charlgrilled oysters? Yes, going on my NOLA list. Thank you. Drago's Charlgrilled oysters, Tina, damn right. If not Drago's, if it's too busy, then Acme Oyster House has also very good Charl-grilled oysters as well. So good, so delicious. Random Nerd of Doom. Let's see. If Doomcock took over, would the world be better? As long as he lets me be king of Ireland, then I would be fine with that. Steve Betty Trixie says, when it comes to Cajun food, what is your take on gumbo jambalaya? I do not like gumbo. Never been my cup of tea. Jambalaya, I do like. Jambalaya is pretty good. High Council is live. All right, so because the High Council is live and I don't like to fight against them, I'm going to start to wrap things up. But first, a super chat. Raymond Henschel, thank you very much for the super chat, says, some said Shazam won't do well in China. China will love because no social justice, no attacking men. Chinese women like men will make $1 billion worldwide. I'm not on board with the Shazam making $1 billion yet. Opening weekend, second weekend, if there's an indication, I will call it. Because I remember after the first weekends after the first weekend alone in China, I was like, boom, this movie is going to make, Aquaman, boom, this movie is going to make $1 billion. And sure enough, it did. You need to wait until the money actually comes in. Shazam's going to do really well, $600, $700, $800 million. Where it falls is going to depend on a lot of factors, but it is indeed also a comedy. And when it comes to the superhero, like hard comedies, it's sometimes harder to sell that to larger audiences. Oh, crap. JJ, man, thank you very much for that generous super chat. Wow, thank you. Odin, I love your channel, and it sucks to hear about the job, but when one door closes, another one opens. I went to NOLA for the first time last year, and it was an amazing experience. I miss the music so much. Well, JJ, thank you very much, man. I'm so glad that you had a good experience, and thank you for your kind words, and I totally agree. If one window closes, a giant door normally opens. The question is, where is the door, and which one do I go through? So, seriously, dude, thank you for that amazing super chat and that amazing comment. But as I said, guys, I am going to have to start to wrap things up, so I'm going to be skipping ahead to the live part of the chat. So let's see what we got here. Tina has it written down. Awesome. Rhaegar Targaryen says, do you really believe that humans were capable of building the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest tower in Dubai? No, it's the aliens. It's obviously aliens, right? It's aliens. No. Khal Drogo makes oysters now? That's great. The Senate, what's your favorite seafood? I love crawfish. Probably charcoal oysters. Hands down. Tina says, can't be King of Ireland. I'm taking over Ireland. No, Tina, I'm taking over Ireland. I'm taking it over. Aiden Vickery says, thank you for another great show, Odin, and shout-outs to Steph and Tina. Shout-outs to Steph and Tina, the Valkyrie. Don't worry, I have not forgotten. I have not forgotten my patrons. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. Peabody, you have a good night. Kamikaze Jimmy says, wish you the best. Thank you very much, man. Also, guys, the High Council is on world-class BSers, so please go over there to support them. But before you do, a huge shout-out to Adam Shawhan, A. Grey Jedi, Albertus Magnus, Aman Yosef Marcos, Elite System 32, Dion, Edward Coleman, Enrique Evangelista, Entertainment Hacker, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan, Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Hunky Chunky, Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Intertrap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Jonathan Jerembeck, Laura Story, Matthew Kadish, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin, Outpost Dyer, Perpetual Punster, Projar Sharif, Proper Jeremy, Darkstar 57, Gotcha Bud, Shenglong, Sir Lance Elato, Theodora, the K-Man, the DJD Show, those two ball guys, Tina B, and Wolfgang Lounge. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Julie for a car video. Whenever she's in Ireland or next time I'm in Ireland, yes, absolutely. CF Productions. Super. Any quick tips for podcasting? Thanks, my dude. Super. Audacity. Invest in a microphone. This one right here was about $30, $50. This is the Blue Snowball. Very good starter microphone, I would say. There are a lot of other options that you can find on there. Audacity, though, great software to be able to edit. And as far as how to get the podcast out there, you can contact me, email, DM on Twitter. I can try and help you out with that. All right? So just contact me there. Slice of Neons, which is worse, a disembodied head or a disenheaded body? Oh, man, that's deep. Zen Waters, you rest well too. Mary Ashmead, you rest well too. Zen Waters, halfway to being a citizen. Damn right, Zen, you're almost there. Almost there. Siggy, someday Odin will have to read about 1,000 usernames. We'll see, man. I'm happy as a clan with where we are. Seraptime Gaming says, have a great night. All hail our battle angel Alita. Damn right, Evo, have a good night. Pindrop, you have a good night. Dion, you have a good night, good sir. Let's see, he says, you have a great evening. Got Aquaman, so I'm off to watch it later. Dion, let me know what you think about it. Hope you enjoy it. 8-Bit Snake Boy, great stream as always. I'm too poor to be a patron, but I always should be support. 8-Bit, just your time alone. As I said, always, time is a precious thing. If you can even just give me your time and a like, that's all that I need from you. That's all that I need. Super. Reach out to me, man. Benny K, Bandwidth, every single person watching this. Huge shout out to every single person. And of course, the Valkyrie, Tina and Steph. You're amazing. Show some love to the Valkyrie, Tina and Steph. They work hard to make sure this chat stays on task, to make sure I stay on task, to inform me when things go wrong, to keep me on the up and up. Moons of Madness, thank you very much, man. Seriously, you're all amazing, beautiful people. Go watch the High Council. They are awesome. Hopefully, Gary is available. If he's not, he's probably on the High Council, and I'm going to try and get him set up with Streamlabs so that way we can get him protected. So again, please go support the new Gary Nerdrotic channel. Drop the links, Valkyrie, one more time, please. Go support the new channel. And also go support him regardless because he's awesome. Have a wonderful day, every single person out there. I love you guys. And as always, God bless.